Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're all doing well. Again, I'm here to share with you another many time requested recipe. This recipe, I think it's now worldwide known, originally from Africa. I think Kenya, to be, if I'm not wrong, but if I am, do let me know. So today I'm making Mandazi. Somali we call it bur, kalio. It's got so many names. Hamri, a lot of names for this dough. Basically, it's a fried dough, and then it just puffs up. That mostly we have it during the Ramadan, and it goes really well with sambosa, spring rolls, and so on. Also, I'm going to show you another way of making it, as well as showing you how to make a very easy mandazi but very yummy. I will also show you how to make garafo. Garafo means basically the same dough of mandazi that will be stuffed with custard, which is very nice, and especially in our house, we tend to make it a lot, especially since my dad is very fan of that. So these are the ingredients. So here are my ingredients. Custard I will be making with milk. This is custard powder. This is one of my favorite custard powders. And first we will start and make the dough itself, which is just a plain flour, milk. This is mixed ghee and oil, egg, just a little bit of vanilla, yeast of course, and sugar. That's for the dough. And then later on I'll be making the custard. Just milk, custard, and sugar. Very easy, very simple, straightforward. Anytime I make a dough, the first thing I like to start with is the yeast and milk. Let the yeast activate before adding the rest of the ingredients. That way I know my yeast is perfectly fine and I don't waste any ingredients. So in goes the milk, 1 tablespoon of yeast. For now I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Mix this and cover and leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes until you start to see the yeast starting to bubble. So after about a few minutes, as you can see, the yeast has now started to activate. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. Egg goes in. Sugar in, and then we add the mixture of ghee and oil. Just around few tablespoons and mix that. Add a bit of vanilla. This is vanilla powder, just a little bit. And it's already starting to smell amazing. So with this dough, you can eat it by itself, you can eat it with sambosa, you can eat it with anything that you like basically. And as always whenever I'm making dough, I like to add the flour bit by bit. Okay, don't add all the flour at once, then you might end up with a really hard dough. So the best thing to do is add your dough bit by bit, mix as you go along, add, and then that way you get the right consistency of the dough. Just keep kneading, mix well, bring all together, and then we're going to knead it really well. Now I'm going to get my hands in there and knead this until it's nice and smooth. If you have a machine that does the job, go ahead and do it. I tend to use my hand a lot, even though I have dough machine, but I like to feel the consistency, if that makes sense. But so bring this all in together. You see, this is the consistency that sticks to my hand a little bit, but not too much. That's why I sprinkled a little bit of flour on the surface, and then just keep on kneading until you get really smooth looking dough that does not stick to your hand. See, it's soft, it's not too hard, and this is around 3 cups of flour. Just going to knead that for a couple of minutes. 3-5 minutes should be fine. Dough looking good. Now all I'm going to do is place it back in the bowl, cover, put it somewhere warm, and leave it for about an hour and a half. Let it double in size, and then come back and finish it off, inshallah. Now while the dough is resting, I'm going to go ahead and make the custard. It's very simple. As I said, I have a cup of water, custard powder, a little bit of water to mix in this custard powder, and sugar to taste. So take your milk. I have here my pan. Add the milk and wait for it to just about to come to a boil. Then we're going to add the mixture. All I'm going to do is to mix the powder. It's very easy. Around 2 tablespoons. Mix that until it's smooth looking. You don't want any bits here. It's very easy. It usually melts anyway, so no complication here whatsoever. It dissolves it. Going to add the sugar according to your taste. Just stir that in to dissolve. It's ready, just about to come to a boil, and I'm just going to lower the heat to medium, add the custard, and mix straight away. Keep mixing. We don't want any lumps here. As you can see, it gets thicker. Keep mixing that. Lower the heat. And it's ready. Simple as that. Heat off. Done. And all I'm going to do is leave it to side. As you can see, you can eat it by itself if you want to, and let it cool while the dough is resting. Alright guys, as you can see, the dough has now doubled in size, more than doubled, and my custard has been chilling in the fridge and it's ready to be stuffed in. So before I go ahead and do the next step, if you're going to make Mandazi, this is the time. You just take your dough out, roll it, cut it into medium size, leave it for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then fry it, and you got your Mandazi ready. Because I told you I will be making stuffed kind of Somali donut basically, which is filled with custard. So I'm just going to make it in half and then roll each into kind of circle, and then put these in, cover with another layer of the dough, and then cut it together. So cut the dough in half. As I said, remember, if you're not making the custard one at this point, all you have to do is roll the dough, cut it into shapes and then fry it. That's it. But because I'm making the filling, it's a little bit different. Now all I'm going to do is just roll this and then come back to it. So I've got my dough here ready. As I said, if you're not making the filled garafo, somali donut, at this point you will just cut it long and then just cut it and then leave it for a few minutes and then fry it. So now because I'm using custard filled, first I'm going to shape just like that, so I know where I'll put the custard in, and then I'll put this on top, which is easier, just like that. Make your round circles, put the custard in the middle, all around. The custard for this, it should be thick so it holds in. We don't want runny custards, otherwise you won't be able to fill it in. But this one, it's fried, it will kind of come out all creamy and so on. So just like that. Now I'm going to top this on top of here and then cut it. Alright guys, after a few minutes it's ready to be fried. Okay, I have here my oil. It's not too hot, it's medium, so it doesn't burn the dough. Just put it in, just like that. As I said, the oil must not be too hot, otherwise you will end up dough, because this one has two doughs, as you can see, one at the bottom or the one on the top, and so it needs to take its time to cook. So once it's nicely golden color, I'm just going to flip it over, just like that. So nicely golden color, as you can see. Just place it here. When you seal the edges really properly, as you can see, it does not open. So make sure the edges are sealed properly and the donut, the custard stays in. Just like that. And there you have it guys, already, as you can see, nicely looking Mandazi, mahamri, Somali burr, Somali donut, garafo, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it all tastes delicious and everybody makes it quite a bit differently. But I hope you like this and I hope you benefit from it, and do make it, and hopefully you will like it. As I said on the video, the dough is the same if you're going to make mahamri. As you can see, it's the same dough as this one. I just cut it into slices, and let me just show you how it looks inside. As you can see, really soft and yummy, and the smell amazing. So inshallah, I'll see you soon with a new recipe. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And as always, if you do make it, you know what to do. Let me know how it goes for you. Yeah, until next time, take care.